pod today with myself and Stephan Reese, but Stephan is not here today, so I have the able-bodied Obi with me, and today's another day. Today's another day outside there in Radio Land. To all the people in the maxis and taxis going on the bus route and whatever, say yeah. Morning to all of y'all and be safe, and go and do the people and then walk and stop quarreling. Stop quarreling, mind your business. Mind your business, most important, right? Because you know where the trouble is coming when you're not minding your business. Yeah. So, generally, today is another day. Yesterday I lost my phone, but I want to say to the guys and them from the other crew, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and of course Nigel Snipes. And I lost my phone last night. And I went into a frenzy last night. I reached down where I was going. I reached down there about 6, 7 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I lost my phone. I can't find my phone. But I know I went in the car with it, but I can't find my phone. So I get up. I gone and sleep. It was about 12 o'clock last night, so I reached back home. So while at home now, I'm studying now. No phone, boy. What am I going to do here now, boy? So that prompts me to go into all of the them funny settings now, you know, the thing that's good. I study now how to get a phone first to begin, and then to get back the information. And I now realize I don't really have all the information. So which means that I'm a Google, right? Of some sort. It's back up on Google.
You try calling somebody for them to give you back your phone?
No, I just went in the car.
It's so easy
I went and sleep. First I started to get frustrated. I went and sleep. No, I get it back. So the phone, I went and I dreamed the phone while I sleeping.
I was going to ask you, did you leave it?
No. I thought I left it home.
Okay.
So when I reach home now and I ain't see it, well, boy, I started to get crazy. So I study now how I get our phone. I just fall asleep and dreaming the phone and all kind of mad thing, you know. Dreaming how I'm going to set it up next morning and whatever, and then I fall asleep, whatever. Get up this morning. So the reality now setting now, because I had enough few from last night. So the reality now setting. Yeah. I went down in Pel's birthday last night. So the reality setting now when I get up this morning, no phone. So I have a routine. I just get up, check the time on my phone. So as reach across and reach for my phone to find out what's the time of the morning. Because as get up my body is naturally get up at 5 or 6. Anywhere between there, I just get up. My body is naturally get up. And so I reach for the phone to find out the time. No time. No phone. So it now setting now that I ain't finding my phone, wherever the case may be. I gotta go and put all the things that I dreamt of into perspective to figure out how I getting back a new phone. So I started study what is going on, wherever. So I said, let me make one more check. So I went outside and I checked the car. I ain't see the phone. Something tell me, well, it have a panel at the side of the seat, but it was kind of down now. It kind of unclip and was kind of down in between the seat and the center console. So when I looked down, I said, boy, let me just put my hand in between them. When I put my hand between the, the phone down inside there, boy, that saved me so much embarrassment today.
Well, I'm glad you get it back. It sounded like you had some girlies on that phone you didn't know nobody to get.
Yeah, boy. Yes. So basically, that's what happened to my phone yesterday. So I got a rude awakening, but it was solved this morning, so I'm good to go. Right. So let's get into the topic this morning. So how you going, my brother?
I good. See you come to deal with Captain Forlong this morning.
Yeah. I trying to understand him. Now, I going through my phone yesterday afternoon, and I saw where I saw a clip. Somebody sent me a clip because I have a guy that sent me all sorts of information on WhatsApp during the day of all the incidents that happen. I don't know where he just get this from, but he's get all the clips, all the events that happen, all the robberies, all the everything that's come on my phone every day, and he send it every day. I don't know how he's do it, but he's just do it.
Nah, it are groups with people.
Well,
on
either,
top of the stuff like that, you know.
well, he does just send me those things on a regular. So as we acquire what going on during the day, it in fact who get I'm watching it a crime all over this country, you know.
Yeah.
I thought was just it localized, like
not everything is reported.
Not
mainstream
media
news.
Yeah, but the ones that making mainstream news is like, what the hell going on here with is every minute of the day. So, let me check my phone. 795. Right, this one, it have some guy get shot. Some guy 1,700 police officers was by the name of Douglas who was last attached to West Indian. Right. Somebody commit suicide. Somebody, police officer killing Kelly Village.
Wow.
Police officer, no, in fact, backshot dead in a man in backshot.
Well, I know.
Backshot dead.
I know.
Backshot dead in Dingo.
What is?
Backshot.
Yeah.
Was he shot in the back?
He come like butters.
Was he shot in the back?
No one was almost crushed. Some woman was almost crushed on the boat.
Oh, Lord.
With some truck that get away. Police probing the theft of 4 cars and overnight in Lavantil. The prisoner who got loose from the Arima hospital, he's still at large. Murder in Valencia.
Wow.
Make and 20 among top 10 detained under PDOs. There's a guy named Maka. Maka and 20.
I know good news there.
Among the 10 that get the PDOs yesterday.
Yeah.
Like 10 people going in for
So like 10 more people get
like
hold.
10 more people getting hold.
But I thought they say the PDO is not doing a job, because if they're finding people sort of whole,
Well,
it has to be that it are people doing shipping in Saudi. Not only that, it means also that they're doing investigations, because I doubt they're just going to pick up random people off the road.
I don't know what is going on with this, because I would assume that when you're coming up with that PDO, you're coming up with that PDO for a specific set of things that you would be held for, right? Listen, I'm gonna just read out one or two, and you'll understand what I'm saying, right? They're posing a threat to public safety with Maka and Vika Simongal, which is 20, according to the official detention orders, identified as an alleged shooter in the Market Hill gang, right? Authorized alleged gang, right, involved in armed robberies, contract killings, shootings, firearm trafficking, and possession of prohibited items, including bulletproof vests and so on. Then our next one, he get hold for accused of involvement in extortion, narcotics trafficking, firearm offenses, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder. Right, there's another one. Then it have some others again. Armed robberies, narcotics trafficking, and firearm distribution with intelligence suggesting retaliatory shootings were planned as part of an ongoing, right. So you hear what they're being charged, what they're being held for, right? Not charged. Right? And there are serious offenses by these criminals across the board, right? Now there are about 500 people on PDOs.
The line we love to say in Trinidad and Tobago, they were known to the police officers to be in this.
So this is what they're being held for. Now I would assume that when you're you have the provision on the PDUs that you could use to get gangsters off the street. And I drew an example of this in El Salvador, right? Where when the president came in, right? Right, Nayib Bukele, right? He came in and they issued a state of emergency.
And he clean sweep.
And he make a clean sweep by pulling in all of the 40,000 members. And we dealing with small numbers, eh?
Yeah.
He dealing with 40,000. They build a prison to hold mass, yeah, and hold this one and hold that one, right? Hold all the criminals. And right now, El Salvador is like the quietest place on earth, right? With all these prisoners in the jail. Now, I don't know how their state of emergency is made up, right? And I haven't researched it, which I should have, but I didn't. But when they did that, all the gangs were inside the jail, basically. All the gangs were inside the jail. So they just went and pick up people. Them and the soldiers and whatever, and they went and pick up people and put them in the jail. And after that, the place quiet. So I don't know if it's the same. Now, when you look at Trinidad, we have about 500 people on PDUs right now. Right? Inside, somewhere in wherever the hole in them, right? Is the place quieter now that those people are inside? You have to ask yourself that question, number one. Right? So, all these things that the people in them get held for, I would assume that when you pull them in on a PDU, you would have an opportunity to charge them if you haven't evidence. Because you can't say that these people are being held under these circumstances and nobody getting locked up, basically. Nobody getting charged. So you're just holding them for what and for how long? And are you building a case against them? Is that what's going on? I don't know how it works. I really don't know, and I want to get on to Kyle to find out how exactly does it work, really. You know, because I'm going to just find out from Kyle if I could call him.
I could. Well, let me give you a little update on the thing. So, El Salvador's state of emergency is called Régimen de Excepción.
Right.
It is a special legal measure that temporarily expands the government power to address what it declares to be a serious threat to public order. It was first declared on March 22nd after a surge of gang killings and since has been repeatedly extended by the country's legislation. Under the state of emergency, police and military are given border powers to arrest people suspected to be in gang involvement. Authorities can hold suspects for longer before they must be brought before a judge. Some constitutional rights are temporarily limited, including parts of the rights of freedom associated with privacy and communications. So you see where we communications part coming. So all who wondering how they could tap your call, right? The threshold for obtaining arrest warrants and conducting certain investigations is lowered in some circumstances. Penalties for gang-related crimes are increased. So you'll get punished harder if they hold you within that time. And the large-scale security operations are carried out. The government says these measures have dramatically reduced the homicide rates, weakened major gangs such as the MS-13 and the Boraro 18, and improved public safety in many communities. Now, you just ask a question, and the question you ask is, has the PDO been doing something based on how many people are being held and for how long the state of emergency has been rolling? And I think it's safe to say yeah, because the murder rates are down. Well,
yeah, because
criminality is down.
Because we had, when we came in, it had about 600 and something murders, right? Which was the red ribbon for Hines, right?
Yeah.
Now, since then to now, since people are real funny in truth, people asking what we doing about crime.
And this is what I'm saying.
Whatever, right? Now, the PDOs only, how to put it, boy? I want to gather my thoughts on this, right? Okay. The PDOs allow the government, is a provision in government via the same law they're talking about. Did they say anything about charges of people when they held them?
Yeah, but they say the government could hold them for a prolonged period of time until they see fit for them to go to court. And the next thing that we need to take away here is, like you were now saying, people are funny, right? A big complaint is that the government using the state of emergency as a crime fighting tool and only extending it. But in El Salvador case, which is way bigger than us, they said that their own was rolling too until they got the problem completely rectified.
Right. So I'm trying to understand the matrix, because I was seeing that, I saw that about 2 weeks ago, and I brought it up with Stephan on a program that we did, right? But I didn't explore it properly. But I was trying to draw a comparison between the PDOs here and what El Salvador did, in order, as you come out your house long time in El Salvador is somebody dying.
Yeah.
Right? There's somebody they find, and the weapon of choice is a machete.
Yeah.
So they would chop up the victims and all kind of mad thing. And that's the bed running?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the concept of coming into office, when he came into office, he decided he gonna make some draconian steps in order to curb the violence in El Salvador. Right? So he went and they changed the laws, they do whatever, expand the law, whatever the case may be. And they started making a cleanup. And they pull in about 40,000 people that are members of gangs.
Right.
So which means was a total cleanup of the system, right? Now, we have our problem with gangs here. We know who our gang heads are. We know all who involved in what, right? Because clearly, by what I read out earlier on, in terms of who is doing what, right? Who is involved in retaliatory attacks on people, extortion, drugs, trafficking, human trafficking, whatever it is, right? So we know all what they're doing. Now, we have got them under a state of emergency under PDO, which is provisions in law for holding someone who's involved in nefarious activity, right? Now, being involved in nefarious activity, you under normal circumstances, you're supposed to build a case, arrest the person, right? The person go before the magistrate, they get bail, however they get bail, and they back out on the street. Right? Now, in this scenario now, we are holding people because I keep hearing everybody talking about release all the prisoners from PDO. Yes, but that is not, it's not as if they're holding, people are real weird, People are real weird in Trinidad and Tobago. They're very weird. Because we were trying to figure out what to do with crime, right? And one of the avenues that they had was to call a state of emergency. So they did that, and they keep ramping up the numbers of the people that they're holding on PDOs. What happens after? That's the problem. What happens after, and how does it happen? Because technically, we have to be able to yep, right. I'm going to call him now. Give this man a call for me. Give this man a call for me. Yeah, let me not try and attempt it. Let me try and get a lawyer's perspective of one of the best in the country. It's our lawyer in the program, our resident lawyer in the program. That would be able to shed some light. Let me just speculate on what happens. Let me just speculate. Right. Pay the bed.
Yeah, it's playing. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Kyle.
Hi, morning.
Morning to all the listening public outside there. Good morning to you, sir. And how was
Good
your
morning.
trip? How was your trip?
It was very good. It was very productive.
All right, great. I need to find out some information, and I don't want to attempt it because I don't have all the information, and maybe you may have
Sure.
all the information, right? It's on the PDOs, right? Now,
Right.
in El Salvador, the president came in, Nayib Bukele came in and met a horrific crime situation with gangs and whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
And he went before the parliament and wherever, and they came up with a state of emergency, right? I don't know if it's a state of emergency like ours, but it's a state of emergency they called in El Salvador. And they rounded up all the army and the police, and they started a crackdown on the criminal gangs, about 40,000 of them, and put them behind bars, right? I don't know if it's the same as our PDOs, right? But each PDO member that the government is holding, there's a list of alleged, how to put it, alleged charges or alleged things that they're suspect for, right? Like trafficking, human trafficking, whatever it is going along the lines, right? So it's a whole list of things, right? So based on that, they're pulling them in on a PDO. What happens to when the state of emergency ends? What happens to those prisoners? Well, those detainees, I should say. Yeah, detainees. What happened? Is their case supposed to be a building in the meantime while they have them locked up, so that they could?
Well, you would have, if the detention
Uh-huh.
is purely under the jurisdiction of the PDO,
Right.
and the PDO's jurisdiction in turn is under the state of emergency, then if the state of emergency goes as expired, the PDO will go and expire, and then persons will have to be released or charged. And then the jurisdiction will then fall to the court, so that if the person is charged
Right.
and the police have gathered sufficient evidence using their PDO and state of emergency powers to intercept, etc.,
Right.
they can then object to bail. Because one of the considerations of bail is whether or not the person is likely to recommit the alleged offense or poses a danger to witnesses, etc.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so that you don't lose, the state doesn't lose the right to ensure further detention. Save and except now, the ordinary bail laws, etc., will kick in. And I suppose that's why some time ago the current government was attempting to pass legislation to treat with limited state of emergency, or to treat with the zonal, I forgot the name of the bill.
the Zoso bill.
To try and bridge that gap. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So technically, when the SOE is finished, you just let go the people and then basically.
Well, I mean, let go is a little bit. The time will come where they have the decision to make. They no longer can detain these persons pursuant to the PDO jurisdiction. So if you've gathered the evidence, then you have to charge.
Right. And I'm assuming that is happening now in terms of as investigations going on, whatever the case may be. What is it now?
One would think that, I mean, and you don't make wild accusations against anybody. We have to assume that the police are doing their job, so that if they have all these extraordinary powers,
right,
under the PDO and the state of emergency,
right,
where they can do warrantless searches in some circumstances, then for the persons they have detained,
right,
one would expect that they're doing thorough investigation to gather evidence to build a case or to decipher the truth. Might be that they had reasonable suspicion and the investigation has led to clearing the person of any allegation. But certainly where they've gathered evidence that the person has committed an offense, or they have good evidence to say that the person may have committed the offense, then they can institute charges and go before the regular magistrate and judicial system and object to bail. If they think they need to object to bail. Or you impose bail conditions.
And when the SOEs come in, because we have about 500 people under PDOs right now, right?
I don't quote me, but I think in a couple of months, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We have about 500 people, right? So
yes,
we have 500 cases that we could bill, basically.
Yes.
Is that a reality at all?
I mean, I don't know. That's really sensitive nationally. As I said, you have to assume that the police in each PDO case
Right.
is looking at it, keeps it under continued consideration,
Right.
and would decide eventually whether or not they need to charge, whether they need to rearrest the person for further few hours, 48 hours or whatever,
Right.
or put the person out and surveil them, continue further investigation,
Right.
or approach a magistrate after charge to object the bill.
Okay.
And I mean, you have to remember that not everybody who's arrested under the PDO may necessarily be subject to a charge. It may be that persons were removed because they presented a serious risk.
Okay.
And that you don't have information. That's the power of the PDO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the intercept of communications, is that part of the state of emergency powers?
I believe under the regulation, there is an independent power to intercept certain communications and to do searches, warrantless searches in the ordinary course of things without the state of emergency.
Go to
You
our
have
judge.
to, first of all, you have to get warrants to seize electronic devices, or you could use the Interception of Communication Act
Right.
to do wiretapping. I think you have to get a High Court judge's
Permission.
approval,
All
or you can apply for a passkey code order, where essentially you take the phone and the person has to hand over the passcode for their phone
Right.
by order so that the police can search it. So you have different methods
Right.
by which you can do surveillance.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon that you would tap somebody's phone basically then.
Absolutely not.
All right.
In
Okay.
fact, once you have justification
Right.
and you are aware of information
Right.
or that the communications may lead to evidence
Right.
of a commission of a serious crime,
Mm-hmm.
or lead to evidence to unearth a plot or something like that
Okay.
that could present serious danger, then you have to treat with you have to consider it's one of the tools in the arsenal.
All right. Okay.
Right? We're no longer living in an age where police have to park up outside and stake out and that kind of thing. There's technology, so police have to use the technology.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for your clarity, because a lot of Trinidad is asking what. By the way, in terms of a PDO, when the state of emergency is coming closer to an end, if you have to charge, when do you charge? You charge before
At any time. At any time.
At any time.
From the time. I mean, the general principle is that once you have enough evidence or information,
Right.
you should charge.
Right.
Because you don't want to keep a person detained longer than necessary.
Right.
So if you have the evidence to charge, you charge, and you get them before a judicial authority.
Right.
You shouldn't subject the person to longer than they have to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, sir, for
Yeah,
your
anytime,
insightful
guys.
information. Yeah, man. Have a good day.
All right, take care. Bye.
Right.
And with that,
So take off the phone. Yeah. Take off the phone.
Yeah,
the
you
phone.
don't know.
Yeah. So we have gotten some information there on how the PDOs work. What are the provisions via the PDO, and so on, right? So this sort of loose talk we hearing all about the place. This sort of loose talk. We have to be very careful with this we're doing. We can't just be talking out of the rim of the rim of we.
K-Pax.
Yeah, they can't be just talking out of the rim of your K-Pox, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be on top of things, right? So
Yes.
that was our lawyer there, Kyle Taklal Singh. Of
Right.
course, one of the best lawyers in the country.
And we have to go for a quick break.
Right, well,
And
no
come
problem.
back. So,
When we come back, we'll get back into Captain Fall Down when we come back.
yes,
Yeah, man.
people.
So stay locked on, people.
Stay locked on.
Protect yourself from electric shock or death before conducting repairs close to overhead lines or the point of
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs.
All right, people, we're back inside, and this is off the record. Of course, Mr. X and Obi in your company until 12 noon, so stay locked on. We have some specials coming up and so on. And I think we have some giveaways, I think, eh? Yeah, I think we have some giveaways sometime later.
Full segment for Blue Water.
Yeah, I wonder if we can run our quarter segment. What do you call it? Our naughty corner.
You know, naughty corner. Yeah, you can get.
I wonder why. All right, nevertheless,
making them feel like the war run the thing. Let the people get a naughty corner. Give the people what they want, man.
Well, why not? But technically, I am advocating this morning for Stuart Young to be in a PDU. Yes, pull him in.
You want to put Captain Forlong on a PDU?
Yeah, put him on a PDU. Because he on sharpness. Because, you know, it's real funny when the government kind of colluded and thing to make sure that the people and them get away kind of thing, right? But yesterday I was sent a clip with the captain of the ship and his two mates of the MV Barima in Ghana right across the road there.
Yeah.
They know far country, they right across the road there. And they have charged those two people with the deaths of the people in them that died during the issue with them. And we went through a whole long diatribe, basically. We went through a whole long dissertation about the act, the OSH Act, and the findings and the commission of inquiry and all kind of different things, right? And we came up with a report that said, that gave 52 recommendations for the people who died in the pipeline. Now picture this, right? We have a man in a pipe, or men in a pipe. First to begin, Delta P is nothing new. Right? First to begin, right? If you go on international websites and so on, I will talk about instances where you have that suction effect, and you have to mitigate against that, right? Now, I was in charge of many a diving operation in my days offshore in the oil field and the gas field. Welding underwater with habitats, surveying pipeline, checking nodes of the pipeline, torquing bolts on flanges and so on that become rusted and whatever, and they went to change out the pipe, and they're doing habitat work under the sea, right? So I've seen it all, right? And I remember, well, in this instance, you had the Delta P taking place, and it sucked 4 men into a pipe. 30 inches, I think it was, or 30 or 36. I think it was 30 inches, right? That is enough to get... No, I don't know if all you're understanding what 30 inches look like, right? I don't know if... all right, the length of your shoulders, right? From one shoulder to the next shoulder is about 32, 30, 34. It's about the size of your waist most times, right? And picture you in a pipe like that. Picture okay, use a bottle, right? And you see the top of the bottle. Picture you getting sucked into a bottle like I don't want to say.
In other words,
I don't want to say
like
blue
trying,
water's bottle.
It's like after you if you have a little OCD thing like me, so it's after you eat a doubles and you drink a solo and you roll up the doubles paper because you ain't no garbage around and you decide to push it down inside the bottle.
So picture you in an open hole, you're welding, whatever the case will be, whatever it is, and you being sucked into it, right?
And pull you down inside of that.
Right. Them things that's happen offshore. So when you're doing what's called your front end loading of your project, you have your HSE element of that project, which talks about all the HSE elements that would make the job safe, right? And being sucked into the pipeline is not a non-reality; it's a reality. And you would know that they have a fabricated piece of metal that they put over a hole under sea to prevent anything from being sucked in. Any big items from being sucked in, they normally place like an X over the hole, right? When you're not using it, when it was not in use, or if you're near to the hole and wherever. But the suction aspect of it, which is called the Delta P effect, right, will pull you into a hole, right? So picture a blue water's bottle, right? And you have the flange on top with an open hole, and you get sucked into that pipe, right? That's why divers are a special kind of creatures, right? People who could go into holes and crevices and that sort of stuff to do work and thing, they have to be of a certain how to put it, a certain skill level in their head. You know, they had to be able to know about claustrophobia, that understand tight spaces
and stuff like
and
that.
all these right. So you had to be a certain kind of individual in order for you to work in these environments. So you get sucked into the pipe. You have an air tank, because normally it would be lifeline air supply, right? So you would go down into a piping area, an area where you're doing work, and you would have a lifeline attached to you from up above that goes down into the water with you, and it provides you with sufficient air to operate. In this instance, those guys went down with tanks. So they were not supposed to be there continuously. If you're there continuously, which means you're welding or you're doing something, you would have an airline. You're going down into the water with an airline that is controlled on the top and continuously providing air in your mask for you to breathe underwater under long circumstances, right? So I hope all you're understanding that, right? Now, these men and them went down with tanks, right? And those tanks are for short duration periods and specific timings. This thing is not a parlor operation. It doesn't operate like that, right? Everything is calculated down to the second. Because if you're down there and you run out of air, you're in problems. If you go too low down, you're in problems because you can end up with bends, too much carbon dioxide in your joints and all them kind of thing. You can end up with Bend syndrome. It have different things that happens. So these men went down there with tanks, and they went down for a short period, right? Because I think there was reinstalling the pipe or something like that, right? So they had to take off the flange, prepare the flange, wherever, and just, going and coming. So they went down there with tanks and got sucked into the hole. So the spacing of the hole gets even smaller with tanks, right? And they got into some difficulty via being sucked into the pipe. So that your first set of drama there, right? Because in your head, in your head, you're kind of compensating for the amount of air you use because how you breathe with a tank is, and I'm going through all of this pains, right, for you to understand the kind of trauma that these men went under. So when you get sucked into the pipe, you are in a confined space and you have to breathe normally in order to conserve the amount of energy expended via the tank. Right? Because when you're breathing normally, it would give you a certain time, like a half hour or hour or whatever of live oxygen so that it can help you to breathe. Right? So picture you in a 36 boy. I can't remember. I think one 36, I think one 36 inch. But anyhow, it's a confined space and you get sucked in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, here what we're going to do, X. We're going to take a quick blue water segment break and give people a chance to think about how it feels to be sucked into that pipe, and maybe when you come back we could take some calls on it and we could expand on it.
Well, yeah, we do that.
Definitely. This segment is brought to you all by Blue Waters.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion.
Energy starts here. Yo, stamina energy is the stamina energy. Is the stamina energy is the truth to keep me pumping, baby. To keep me moving, to keep me grooving, to keep me pumping all night and day. Energy right, so go all night. It's stamina energy that give me life.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion. Available now in strawberry lemonade. Only 5 calories. Pure energy.
Yo, bless up Anna, Flam Jam, you don't know Kessis. I don't believe in love, but in this place, she tell me her name was Miss Grace. She said, boy, I ain't still long. So Louis take and dance to this song. This still had to be the last one. So then I asked what she drinking. She tell me rum and Coca-Cola. So darling, come a little closer. She drinking rum and Coca-Cola all night. Then she look me in the eye. Say you ain't leaving here tonight. When that fuss is one, she signal the bartender, bring it come. Start to jam all down to the ground. This kind of woman when she come from, oh Lord. How she whining so. Just one more before I go. It was rum and Coca-Cola all night. DJ now we walking up in the place. I feel me face. And as soon as I hold she hand, who we go bounce up is the X-Man. Now they want to start a big fight, but I ain't come for that till tonight. So I'm picking up the next round to ask them what all you're drinking. They tell me rum and Coca-Cola. Then she pull me a little closer. We drinking rum and Coca-Cola all night. Now it's plenty after What she said when you come in San Fernando, she want me go down there, ride it, so let me go down there, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said when you come in San Fernando. And 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone you're calling. When things get boring, it's back and all you want. I thought I was the one, I thought that this was love. But when I hear the scene, you know she's a right to be. Now I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 55, wine up on you, unlock your door, open your window. Girl, I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 55, wine up on you, unlock your door, open your window. She want me go down there, ride it, so let me go down there, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said, you come in San Fernando. She want me go down there, ride it, so let me go down there, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said when you come in San Fernando. Come and meet me behind the truck, let me rev it up. All day, keep throwing it back, I know where you stop. Baby, no way. We could post up all the pictures you want when you're ready. I could over here, darling. You could over there. But we could meet in the middle and start a bacchanal. Stay in the middle, baby. What we go do now? Jam to a rhythm in the heat, I can't evil. Come in the heat, baby. What we go do now? Start to wine on it. I say, compromise on it. Baby, spend time on it. Hey, I say, compromise on it. Hey, I feel your frequency from miles away. You come alive with one wine, baby. Hey, with you I want to dance the night away. One jam to a lifetime, baby. So don't feel away. Hey, hey. You don't like the fast life, hey. But look on the bright side, girl. I go take the play. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I just want you come and fight it up. Just a little winding up. Come and meet me behind the truck, let me rev it up. All day, keep throwing it back, I know where you stop. Baby, no way. We could post up all the pictures you want when you're ready. I could over here, darling. You could over there. But we could meet in the middle and start a bacchanal. Stay in the middle, day. What we go do now? Jam to a rhythm in the heat, I can't evil. Don't get the heat, day. What we go do now? Start to wine on it. I say, compromise on it. Baby, spend time on it. I say, compromise on it.
Some of them don't like me. Some of them just fight me. Some of them wish bad on me. All of them could go their way. Some of them just back talk me. And them feel I don't know. But I couldn't care less. All of them could rock so. Rock so. Rock so. You could rock so. Stay over there with your bad energy. You could rock so. Rock so. You could rock so. Stay over there with your bad energy. You could rock so. Live my life. I just wanna live my life. And I don't make my choice. So I go pay the price. Yeah, live my life. Just live my life.
Another day above ground, I see. I focusing on the positives. Because yesterday I was down. People do me wrong. But it's love in me heart. When they try to take me for clown, I do them no wrong. Jaja have we back. And I shouting, oh Lord, I'm thankful. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you who give me health and strength. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you give me the handful. problems aside and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. Another day above ground, I say, thank you, Father. I'm focusing on the positives. Cause yesterday I was down, today I feel strong. Yes, His love in me heart. Dirty up my name a wrong tongue. I do them no wrong. Jaja have we back. And I shouting, whoa Lord I thankful, whoa Lord I thankful. It's you who give me health and strength. Whoa Lord I thankful. It's you give me the handful. Every day you're blessing me. Only a turn back and it's nothing we nature. Money in we pocket. This life I want love it. Only a turn back and it's nothing we nature. Food on we table. I good than I ever. We can jump up and wave. I thankful for life. To see another sunrise. Me to one up in the air. All the stress on your mind. Put them problems aside. And give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. And give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. I'm thankful, but be mindful. I'm so grateful. For a new day, for a new day. Hey, I'm thankful, I'm thankful, Lord. Always be thankful. Bilam, pam pam, bilam, pam pam, bilam, pam pam. Just to stay alive in this pimper's paradise. Constitution is a knife. Got cuts and slice and dice. You got to use your head. Just the butter bread. When the ocean wet your bed. Some things better left unsaid on the road. Here on the road. Inside a melody that will lighten any load. On the road, here on the road. Watch me tripping merrily, happy freeing up my soul. Cause sticks and stones can build a forever home. But I only happy on the road I born to. Sticks and stones might build a forever home. Never stationary, I born with sailor bones. Sailor bones, born to roam. The road is home. I born with sailor bones. Some people think it funny when the treasury missing money. Drink a rum and kiss your honey. Happiness would run and run if the go shape in the focus. Overturn without a compass for them poly tricking jokers. Money can't buy time nor heads on the road. Here on the road. Inside a melody that will lighten any load. On the road. Here on the road. Watch me chipping merrily. Happy freeing up my soul. Why? Cause sticks and stones and build a forever home. But I only happy on the road I born to roam. Sticks and stones I build a forever home. Let them keep the money I born with sailor bones. Sailor bones, born to roam. Yeah, the road is home. Just a sailor sailing, with sunshine in your sail and smile. Sailing, I always sailing. Just a sailor sailing, shipping like a little child. I born with sailor bones.
All right, people, we're back inside, and that was off the record.
And that segment was brought to you by Blue Waters.
Oh, yeah, man. And on TTT, we have now our the state funeral for Sir Gary Sobers being shown live on TTT. So you can go across there if you so desire to check out the proceedings of the funeral for the state icon. You know, and so it's very interesting to take it. So for all the people who into that kind of stuff, you could go across to TTT and watch it, right? Generally, right. So I was talking about why Stuart Young should be in our PDO, right? All these wicked people in the way, all these wicked people in the I don't know how all of us sleep when the night come. I don't know if you'll be sleeping and you'll be dreaming you're trapping a pipe or some kind of mad thing. I just can't understand how all this come up with these things, right? Y'all, the four men get sucked into the pipe, right? So while work going on, they would have a plug in this pipe and they would work all around it, wherever, torque, detorque, bolts, wherever they're doing, right? They're welding, wherever they're doing, right? And when you remove the plug, removing the plug is supposed to be a separate incident, right? It's supposed to be a separate, how to put it? A level 2 risk assessment would deal with what is called removing of the plug, right? From the open hole, right? And that hole is not supposed to be open for any prolonged period, right? So when you're going to reattach the flange on top of that, when you remove the plug, that's supposed to be a separate risk assessment. So things like delta P would be discussed around the table, because from the time you talk about removing a plug from a hole that big, it's like a bathtub. Like when you reach down inside the tub and you pull out the cork that is cover the drain hole, you saw the water rush down at the bottom, right? Something like that, right? So you don't leave that hole open. So when you're talking a level 2 risk assessment, so that tells me that certain people were not around the table to discuss that piece, because that removing of that plug, that's supposed to be a different risk assessment from the ordinary job, right? It's supposed to have a risk assess piece dealing with that piece, where things like delta P and water hammer and all these different things will be discussed around the table. All these things will be put into the equation, where the water coming from, where the low pressure water coming from, where the high pressure water, where the differential takes place, how you can get sucked into the pipe, who could get sucked into the pipe, when they could get sucked into the pipe, all them kind of thing, right? All those things will be asked, right? So when you actually remove the plug, you know, it's supposed to be concentrated on that, right? So that tells me something, right? Because from the time I heard they get pulled into the pipe, I know that certain people were not around the table to have that discussion with the relevant authorities, right? Or at least the HSC person was deficient, or at least don't have a clue what they're doing, right? Or if there was a HSC person at all, because it may just be a simple OIM or somebody in charge doing a risk assessment, and they're just going through the steps as normal, just write out the steps, whatever, and just all nilly-willy, and it goes past by. But it have things like diving operations, which go into level 2 risk assessment, which is higher than the average risk assessed job, right? So you have to go and you have to sit down now and look at certain things, right? As an engineer, as a safety engineer myself, I have to look at certain parameters, certain things, ask certain questions, put certain things in place, that kind of scenario. So that tells me that it wasn't there, it wasn't done. And then secondly, when the divers get pulled into the pipe, they will be using tanks. So which means they are not there for continuous operation. They are there for short periods, short bursts, just to get the job done and to come back out, right? So getting pulled into a pipe with a tank on your back with limited space is just a phenomenon by itself. And it takes a certain level of individual to be able to maneuver and know what to do when emergencies like that happens. Because diving is a very special operation. They send for divers all over the world when they're looking for divers for certain things. When they're looking for welders. Because underwater welding is I don't know how to put it, but underwater welding in a habitat is a special skill. Right? You have to know how to heat up your rods. You have to know how to maneuver. You have to know how your lifeline, where it's passing, so that you are continuously fed with oxygen and so on, so that you could carry out your task. Right? You have to know the heat level. You have to know how the right tools. You have to have all these different things you're supposed to have. Right? But in this situation, 4 men get pulled in a pipe. And the man on top came out. He actually come out of the pipe because the 4 men, after a while, it would stop the delta P effect of pulling men in the pipe like that, would forcing them down because it would come like
it would eventually fill up the space.
Yeah,
so it run out
so
to pull.
So the person on top would be the person that might get a good reprieve by coming out of the pipe, because he closer up to the top.
It done deprived at a certain point.
Right, it done come down to a certain point. So he come out the pipe and tell them, hey, my boys them down in the hole.
Yeah, they're not too far behind me neither.
And everybody, like, they freeze on the job site. From what I know, and I would know because I was part of about 10 diving operations over the years. So I know how the feeling goes, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not trained, you don't know how to handle emergencies such as that. Right? If you don't have enough skills under your belt, you would not know how to handle an emergency like that. Because there was one incident I remember doing a diving operation on a Mercia or somewhere, I think one of them. And we in the dive shack, right? The dive shack is the little shack on land that has cameras and thing that you could see subsea, downstairs, basically. And you could see the diver approaching the task, what he going and do, how you reckon the habitat, how he doing everything, right? And a day he gone down, right? A morning he gone down, but I was put on monitoring duty. Well, I was monitoring the monitor. The person who monitoring the people who monitoring the monitor, I would be the safety man that dealing with the monitoring of the monitor, right? So I in the shack they just chilling after I watching the operation because going down, and he had on a bracelet, a yellow, a silver bracelet on his foot. You know them long time. Big beer kind of thing on your foot. He had on one of that on his foot. And a barracuda saw it shining. And normally when a barracuda comes in, there's coming real fast and stop and assess the prey, whatever it is, and then go back out. Reverse the same way, the same speed they come in, they just go back out to the same speed. So it come in at one angle, then it come in at another angle, then it come in at it, and then normally what happens is that they attack. If they're not hungry, they wouldn't attack first time. They would attack after assessing the prey on 2 or 3 occasions. They would come in reverse. And on the 3rd time or 4th time, it would strike. And it would cut it clean off. Because the teeth that sharp.
Yeah, I know that.
Right? And I remember the guy telling him, he said, watch that barracuda next day, you know. Because the barracuda like the CD bracelet and only lining up on the bracelet. And it's because he used his fin and kick away the barracuda. The second time it came in, he used his fin and kick it away kind of thing. Kind of nudge it on his head and it went away. Right? But he had to end up taking off the bracelet on his foot. Right? So things like that is what I'm talking about, right?
Okay. Well, we have some voice notes coming in.
So,
and stuff
so basically, you trapped in a pipeline and the person, there is no other person. When something like that happen, like this man come out of our pipe screaming, wherever, the ICT, the Incident Command Team or structure supposed to kick in.
Immediately.
Right. And nobody
did that.
Nobody, how to put it? Nobody could succeed a ICT commander. An ICT commander is in charge of the emergency. No CEO, no boss, nobody could give an instruction at that time. So long as they sound the alarm and the ICT kicks in, the incident commander takes charge of the emergency. So he would know who to call. They would go on the board and put out 1 man release on the pipe, 3 men and attack. At the pipeline. What we need to do, who the external resources we need to call. We need to call Coast Guard. We need to call this, and all these things would kick in naturally with a good ICT commander. All these things would kick in naturally. The scribe would be scribing, and he would stand up in the middle, and he would give instructions to different people to do different things.
It run effective.
Right? And like, I don't know if the freeze or what it is went wrong, but the incident commander did not take charge. And they wanted to know, one of the first things they would want to know is the conditions inside the pipe. Right? And that would be crucial to the persons that in the pipe, how they are treated in terms of, does it have residue? How much residue in the pipe? All them kind of thing, right? So if it have oil, hydrocarbons, whatever in the pipe, you have to know that, right? So the person who came out of the pipe would be interviewed. Right? What is the condition of the pipe? How you come out of the pipe? You come out of the pipe oily or you come out normal? Whatever, them kind of thing. So you would know how to attack the situation. Then the next thing would be to send down a probe of some kind to at least knock the pipe, or send down a diver, at least a Coast Guard diver, to check to see where the minimum is in the pipe. Right? By knocking the pipe or something, and they can knock back. So you would know that this is where they actually are. If you could cut the pipe, if you could send down supplies via a lifeline to at least keep them alive in the meantime, are they subdued with water? Whatever it is, right? And it have ways you can find out different things, right? So they did nothing in that. And then they come now, they did a commission of inquiry, or whatever it is they did. They come up with a report with 52 recommendations, a whole list of things that we're supposed to put in place so that it doesn't happen again, right? One of them is knowing Delta P, and so on. And they basically just left the men in the pipe to die.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Now, how is it come up with them thing? How is come up with them thing? Is there a crane nearby that you can put down a handle down, a fast line down inside the pipe? All them kind of questions is supposed to be trained enough to know, right? So they could put a fast line and let our fast line go down in the pipe, and they can hold on to that and get pulled out, right? So long as they reach the first man, right, it would be easier for the other two to get out, right? Because they would be behind him, so they can hold on to the foot or some kind of thing, right?
And he
set
did
down a fast line.
say that they're right behind him, eh? He said that.
And they're right behind him. So these are the things, and under the OSH Act, we don't have codes like that, but we have where you can arrest people for certain things, and you have 6 months in which to do it. And that 6 months done pass. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that Captain Forlong should be in a PDO for those 4 divers that they kill in the pipeline. You know what I mean? They kill for... You only remember how them men and them come out of that pipeline? Bloated. The eye all out of the socket. All kind of mad thing going on. And you just normal and that's talking about $1 million for them before the election. You come down to the last of the election.
After we waste millions in a commission of inquiry.
Yeah, $15 million you done waste.
Purpose.
And you come now to talk about give them $1 million before election as a ploy to win the election. And all these wicked people, boy. I don't know how all of them sleep. I don't know if all of them sleep and remember them men in the pipeline. But all these wicked people, boy. All they different.
Them not sleep
all they
comfortable,
different.
boy. Them not sleep comfortable, excited.
This ICT commander supposed to be charged. They recommend Mushtaq and all of them to be charged. Piper, all of them. Piper was the incident commander. He should be charged. He should be on a PDO too. A set of jokers. But let me hear them voice out on them there. Let me hear them voice out on them.
Yes, citizen nobody have a few.
But you have a few because he used to work offshore with me. So.
This is good. State of emergency.
Yeah, put it up. Put the line.
Limited suspension of the Constitution for a limited period of time to deal with an emergency. And I will use the example of the 1990 coup as it is fresh, right? It was Monday, July 27th. Gone there was the anniversary. Because had the state acted back then on the information they had, right, as it has come out, they had information, and called a state emergency preemptively to prevent that 1990 coup, everybody would say hip hip hooray. Everybody. They would have been glad that they did it, especially if they could have demonstrated after the fact that, yes, this threat existed. That is what is going on now, in my humble opinion. So to say that it shouldn't be used for crime fighting, are we dealing with normal crimes to begin with? Are we dealing with normal petty criminals? Or are we dealing with organized international crime to the level, right? To the level of what has been identified as terrorism. Okay? If indeed that's the case, then by all means, the executive branch of government, which is charged with the responsibility of the security of the state, must be given the opportunity to carry out its task. However, it must ask for that ability to do it. Right? And that's where the constitutional flaw comes in, because the executive is also the legislature, technically. Because the executive, the people of the executive, the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, and everybody else sits in the Parliament, the very place where they're supposed to be asking for the state of emergency. And they hold the majority there. It's a natural majority. There's no other way. There's almost no way that those people who are the executive authority or who have the executive authority would not have dominance over the Parliament who they are supposed to be asking for. It's a constitutional issue. And until you fix that, to separate the two. And what this case is also bringing up is that there's a third separation we need. Because we have these separation of powers, legislature, executive, judiciary. This case is demonstrating that the judiciary may be interfering in the functioning of the executive. May. Okay? Because they're supposed to be separate but co-equal, meaning one must not have influence over the other. And it seems like the judiciary is being used as a tool of war by those who the executive are targeting. Right? But the reason why they are being somewhat successful in that regard is because of this flaw in our system where the executive seems to have overreaching powers. That's why their case has merit, those who are the targets of these PDOs and so on. All right? I'll go into our next one. Everybody again. So Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to subscribe to the norms and expectations of the free will. Free will means democratic and republican principles, which means that our system of governance respects the concept of inalienable rights of the individual, the right for freedom of movement and expression and thought and a whole lot of other freedoms, right, that are enshrined in these things called constitutions. However, there's a problem with the free will. Those rights apply to everyone equally, including those who may have nefarious intentions to the state. And they can be used as a shield. And the shining example was 9/11, but there have been many more. And the Western free world had to compromise on some of these freedoms or create situations. Usually they do it temporarily in a limited way to allow for an executive authority who is charged with the protection of the state to have some extra powers. In our case here, we call it a state of emergency. In other countries, they call it all kind of thing, martial law and all kind of thing. And they have different ways that they would infringe on these rights. But again, it's supposed to be the people who surrender these rights, right? It's not the executive that takes it from them. The executive has to ask, because after a state of emergency is called, the Prime Minister has, I think it's 15 days, to go to Parliament to explain why and ask for the state of emergency to be ratified. Okay, the Prime Minister goes to the President, rubber stamps it, goes to the Parliament, and then, in effect, the Prime Minister rubber stamps it again. You know why? Because the Prime Minister controls the Parliament. That is the problem that we are facing here, that why the state of emergency is now seen as something of an abuse of power. Okay? It's a perception. I firmly believe that there is a threat. Okay? Nobody firmly believes that there is a threat that needs the powers of a state of emergency, just like 1990. All right? Where we live in history. The problem is, the perception is the executive has too much overreach and is abusing that overreach. And that is why the judiciary is stepping in with a fairly heavy hand. If you fix the constitutional problem that we've had for so long, where the executive is separated from the legislature properly, then that perceived overreach will not exist. And an executive, with the blessings of the people, with the blessings of the republic in effect, can do its job if the state is facing a threat that needs that extra oomph. That, again, the Constitution protects even those who have nefarious intentions. Right? And you need to temporarily suspend that so that you can effectively deal with it. Okay? So that's the debate we can have now. We should use this situation as a reason. I mean, it's right in our face. There needs to be some constitutional fixes here. But again, so some people are very upset that the recordings even exist, that is illegal and whatever. It's not illegal. It may not be legal. There's a difference. When something is illegal, it means if you do it, you break the law. If it is not legal, it means that there isn't a law that allows it. Okay? And what we're talking about here is admissible to be admissible in court. However, for a very long time, I put it as 9/11. Now, it existed before, okay, but in a more surreptitious form. But since 9/11, for sure, countries openly created laws that allowed their spy agencies to have extra reach to deal with a threat, an internal threat, whereby people planning things like 9/11 can do it with having the protection that the state is not supposed to be listening to your conversations and tracking certain things that you do in your private life, right? So a lot of countries around the world, including Trinidad, created laws after 9/11 to allow for these things. Now, it's not legal, as in admissible. It cannot be used as evidence, but it can definitely be used to shine a light on you so as to gather evidence on you. So, for example, there are things that would track people speaking, private conversations. And if you use certain keywords or trigger words, so I don't know, bomb, suicide vest, whatever, right? They've created these key trigger words that if you use them, automatically you are targeted. Now, again, nothing you say can be used in court. However, now some James Bond is going to be listed to you, is going to be digging through your rubbish, is going to be doing things to gather a case. And if they find a case, if they see a bigger threat around you, well, something like what we have now could be triggered. State of emergency, PDO, whatever, right? So these things exist, and it is necessary in the free world for such things to exist. The unfortunate reality is the free world's weakness is its freedom. Those who have ill intention can use those freedoms as a shield. And unfortunately, the free world had to react by surrendering some of that freedom. But I insist that if we are to be surrendering those freedoms, you must ask the people who should be surrendering those freedoms, which means the citizen. And the citizen should have some degree of oversight over that process when it engages. Right? And that for us would require some constitutional reform. Some people are saying the state of emergency needs to be abolished. No, it just needs to be separated. The people asking for the state of emergency must be separated from the people who grants the authority. Okay? And our current system, that's one and the same. Over there again.
Welcome to this morning's Playway.
Playway. No, it running.
This morning, $72,498.95. This morning's playway jackpot is $72,498.95.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive.
And off for 6 months when you sign up today. That's more speed, more entertainment for the whole family. Less on your bill. Visit the nearest Digicel store and switch today.
Welcome to this morning's Playway Pick 2 and Pick 4 draw, supervised by independent auditors KPMG and presided over by the National Lotteries Control Board. Good luck, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to the NLCB's 10:30 a.m. draw for Wednesday, 29th of July, 2026. Let's begin with our playway draw. And this morning's winning playway number is 33, the lucky mark Spider. That number again, 33, the lucky mark Spider. Keep your ticket. The playway jackpot could still be yours. You don't need to win your mark to win the jackpot. We've loaded your favorite Megamix options. The playway Megamix Upsize promotion gives you the chance to win even bigger payouts.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
getting exclusive access to our post-show hospitality area, plus complimentary food and beverages. That's right. You're not just coming to the show, you're getting a full VIP experience. Get your VIP tickets at the Tobago Festivals Commission office from 9 a.m. to 12 noon up to July 30th, or purchase at the door, cash transactions only. Thursday, July 30th, Shore Park Complex, showtime 8 p.m. Come celebrate the story, the whole story.
People, we're back inside, and this is off the record brought to you via Tiantec. Yeah, man. So it is what it is. I am pleased to watch the papers. Well, I'm doing. Oh, now on. Yeah. So I am pleased to be watching the papers for the last couple days, because I'm seeing some ads coming out, and this reminds me of how to put it, all the energy companies. If all you're looking carefully at the papers, you would see Shell, you would see Arcelor, you would see Massive Wood Group. And when I started to see Massive Wood Group, I know things ramping back up, because Massive Wood Group has been sort of tempered kind of thing for the last couple of years, and now that things are happening, I know the energy sector is booming, ramping back up. Because when I see ads like this for mechanics, drillers, tool pushers, rustabouts, all these people, HSC advisors, instrument fitter, when I see these kind of ads, rigger helper.
You know things in the pipeline.
Things in the pipeline.
Well, somebody said it, Mr. X.
Yes.
I was always thinking the same thing.
Oh.
They had known that the man was in the line, because they would have known where the man was because of the knock-in. So they should have been rescued.
Well, yeah, it has several things you needed to do. Well, it's like they freeze, and when the actual order was given to go, somebody tell the Coast Guard, hey, put your gun, don't let nobody go down in that
Well,
hole.
they're blowing up your phone lines, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, let me
get them it. Right, man. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
And
morning,
good
sir.
morning to you, listeners.
Morning to you,
Mr.
sir.
X,
Yes.
you was telling something this morning, but like you really didn't want to tell us, so I want to say it.
What?
As it relates to there needs to be, it is imperative that there is a clear threshold established if the state wants to have people detained under this measure. And it is even more clear that threshold needs to be established, because out of all the PDOs issued so far, the ones that are involved in the alleged threat to assassinate is the ones that found themselves no longer under the PDO. The two persons where it was revoked, and the next person where they are still under the PDO but they're under house arrest for this grave allegation. So what is the position of the people who are charged with lesser allegations? Are they supposed to just collect us because of lack of resources and the ability to hire senior counsels?
Well, as nobody rightfully put, we are conflating the issues between the executive and the legislature, and we have a problem with that, and that needs to be constitutionally fixed, which we don't have. Which we don't.
It is the state doing that on their own, because they are fully aware that this could only make sense if it has a clear threshold identified, which nobody in the country knows what the threshold is right now.
What
Yes, and
threshold?
I'm
What
saying
threshold? What threshold is that you're talking about?
the threshold that must be met in order to say, all right, Mr. X, we can charge you, or we're not ready to charge you, or we don't have nothing to charge you, but we want to detain you for the duration of this SOE, regardless if we have a charge to give to you or not at the end. Right? We do not know what the threshold is as it relates to how these things are being issued. So it could be, all right, I don't like what Mr. X said yesterday on the radio. Let me see if I can issue a video to he and just have him collecting dust. And I'm saying that is on the background of the court saying that PDO is not absolute, and it is still up to be rationalized in the court in the same way that Hadid and his wife is no longer under the PDO in the face of the grave allegation of assassination. And the next person who is alleged to be involved in the matter is under the PDO, but under comfortable circumstances, not like other people who have to smell pee and urine and feces and endure that just being in care of the state.
Okay,
right?
okay.
What if that is the only breadwinner in our family?
Well,
The threshold must be clearly identified, right? Because what has it? Yes, yes, sir.
I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying is most valid. There needs to be a threshold set as to how you administer these things, but it is a constitutional flaw, and we need to get to a point, and this government has the opportunity to get changes via the constitution, because when the president demits office, she will pick her president, and that president will pick their 9 senators, and that is where we could get some kind of redress in the constitution. Because the constitution flaws have been showing up for a number of years now, and this is just one that is very, very confusing and needs to be sorted out. But I agree with you fully agree with you in terms of the threshold being set.
Well, you're being extremely hopeful, eh? Well, and I too hope that they would address it, but
that's the only way you can address it, because you have to get to the 33 in order to address it, and we don't have that to the 33, and we're not getting that in the next.
That 33 was when it only had 36 seats in Parliament.
Right.
Now we are at 41. Right? We are at 41, and they do have the 3/5 majority that is required, because the opposition only has how much? 13 seats?
Yeah, 13.
And they are in possession of 26, and the 2 in Tobago making it 28.
But it's a bicameral house, eh? It's a bicameral house, upstairs and downstairs, eh? Don't forget that.
Right. Okay, well, they could deal with the upper house later. As you say, they could deal with the upper house later on when they treat with whatever, if they want to change president and this and that, and appoint their own independent senators. But currently, they have the 3/5 majority, and we will wait to see.
Yeah, but not enough for constitutional change. Not enough for constitutional change. That's the problem.
Well,
they have a bicameral house, so you have to consider the Senate, because you have to pass it via the Senate.
Well, as I say, we wait to see how they will treat with the issue, if they will treat with it at all.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot, caller. But I admire that caller. He understands what's going on there. In terms of getting constitutional reform, I tell you, Kamala Prasad says in the driver's seat right now. She's in the driver's seat because she understands where that's why I think she took constitutional she took constitutional reform from out of the thing and put it under her office, under the OPM.
Okay.
Hello, good day.
Caller, good morning.
Hey, XX.
Yes.
You know, the only time XX call is when I have to support where you're saying, because I like when you're talking gong roots and roots things.
Right.
There we're going on. I hear you start the program and you talk about El Salvador and how the leader, when he come in, he put certain law in place and he do certain things, and how much 40-something thousand people, gangs, He take out because people as they
behind-
come out the door, they used to get chopped up, but now
Yeah.
everybody walking nice, they leaving the door open, everything going good in El Salvador.
Right.
Right. Here where I am saying now, he do that for his country, not so,
Well, yes. Yeah.
and to make his people safe.
Right.
Nice. Why it is we changing government and we having so much government and we had one government in power for so much years, and instead of we see improvement, we getting worse. Now, here what I want to say, Faris Awari was Attorney General.
Right.
He never passed a law to deal with corruption, mismanagement, accountability.
How you go
and
pass a law
abuse
when
of
you
the
just take
public
part
good?
in them thing?
Right? He never do that
Right.
as the Attorney General. But he could come out now and represent people, the angels and them, and say that he want a name clear, he want this do, he want that do, and he want all kind of thing do. And now, I don't know if you hear the tape. I wonder if you hear the tape where they say circulating.
Which one is that?
Where this lady, this big shot lady, who they hold, right? I try to call name because me and one
Nah,
of the
don't.
thing all they
Yeah,
talking
go
about.
ahead. Don't go down that road.
But I
Right?
find I ain't see no pictures of her tall boy. I wonder why.
I hearing on the tape
Uh-huh.
that the present Attorney General, oh God, let me not say it, but then I hear the tape where they say this present Attorney General. So God, when God go help you clean up the mess, boy, have a good day.
All right, okay.
Thanks, caller. You have
right.
a voice note here from your boy. You play it?
Well, nobody here. So last thing I want to say about all this stuff that's going on locally is that it has an international genesis. Donald Trump shook the box. When you shake a box, things start to fall out. He shook the box by blowing up some drug boats, taking a man out of bed in his pajamas, basically seizing the oil assets of Venezuela. And all of a sudden, massive things started to fall out all around the world. You got massive fallout all around the world, okay, in massive ways, changing the course of history, I believe, quite frankly. I think locally we have a smaller version of that happening. Certainly it was triggered by all of that, because I insist, I'm not accusing anybody, but I insist that we were tied up in all of that. Trinidad and Tobago was tied up in all of that. All right? To what extent, we'll find out. All right? When you shake the box, things fall out. And the executive branch of government here, using its agencies, clearly is shaking the box. And just like the Americans did it as a three-dimensional chess game, do not think of it from the standpoint of two-dimensional checkers. Right? The moves being made, and sometimes you see pieces being sacrificed, and you say, oh boy, somebody winning. No, somebody losing, somebody winning. Do not for 1 minute think this is not part of that three-dimensional chess game. All right? I'll say no more for now.
You know what that means, man? Someone in the chat here said, Mr. Nobody feels he knows it all, and is trying to have a conversation about offshore oil and gas, not knowing that Mr. Nobody and Mr. X, that was actually their field for many, many years, and in some cases, Mr. Nobody's field to this current day. It's amazing what the chat says sometimes.
What
Good morning.
are they saying there?
They're basically saying that
Snipes.
they're saying that
And I believe it's
That's it.
they're saying that Mr. Nobody they're saying that Mr. Nobody feels he knows everything.
No, he and I used to work together for
Well,
years.
they don't know that he has a field in that. They don't know that he's a veteran in it too.
Okay.
Mr. X.
Yeah.
Snipes.
He's working at
I
Rachel
believe
and
it's
Rick.
Obi.
He's working at production.
All right. So this is my take on this divers who died, tragedy. So the question is, I mean, in the future, somebody could make a movie. I know it's a tragedy, but somebody could still make a movie, and call it Delta P, and show exactly what happened, and make it into a big screen movie type of thing. We have the people, who are on the AI, and they could do something and put it out there on the big screen, a storyline. And when they were small, they growing up together, and then end up there. And when the tragedy happened, what was the outcome? So again, it's a tragedy, but if we could spin it on a good side and the proceeds to go to the family,
But
we could think about that, call it Delta P and do a movie on that. This is just my humble opinion, but again, condolences to the family.
It's an interesting theory.
Mr. X and Obi, good morning. My question is, right, I think you said this pipeline was this.
Oh God, Baby Trump got the call. Yeah, Baby Trump, good morning.
Hey, morning, gentlemen. How are
you?
Morning.
Just add a not other layer, but just tag on maybe a bit from what Mr. Nobody just mentioned there. There's some geopolitical, ties to everything that's happening right now. That's quite true. But you know something, guys? You do know, well, I did say to you yesterday, Obi, no, it wasn't to you, but that the term 1%, while they call themselves that, the individuals in the initial video, and the guy said that they had the 1% or whatever. But that term was actually, that term really kind of originated from, of course, the Occupy Wall Street movement, right? Where, the idiots out there with their iPhones and stuff sitting down and challenging the structure of Wall Street or whatever. But here's the thing about it. We have 1% in every ethnicity, which of course you guys know, right? I ain't telling you anything that you don't know, right? We have 1% Indians, 1% Africans, Afro-Trinidadians at least, and Indo-Trinidadians, 1% Chinese. But I tell you something though, from the geopolitical aspect of stuff, there's one particular group doing I want to say the right thing, but they ain't speaking out at all, right? And that particular group, not only some of them boy, my buddy there boy, like at the Chai comes, not only right next door to where the new U.S. embassy going up, right? They're proxies, but they're proxies, some of them born here. Okay? So this thing is just the tip of the iceberg, as you all, of course, have just, well, not just, but have deciphered already, right? So, yeah, to the Chai comes in them.
They're not rocking
Definitely
the boat.
so.
They're not rocking the boat. They Biden time. They're not rocking the boat at all.
Somebody
Very
asks
quiet, very
if
quiet.
who is referred to as Fall Down, Stuart?
Yeah. Captain Fall Down.
Okay, Captain Fall Down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody in the tape they asked, well, why he didn't open his mouth? He have to get.
He's supposed
I
to get a
think that
case.
Anybody
He was supposed to be
charged.
the Chai comes.
He was
go be
supposed to be
him.
charged as one of the heads.
He was supposed to be charged.
He, Mushtaq and Piper and all of them supposed to be charged.
And he especially supposed to be charged because when he came there and met the family first, he lied to them to their face. And then turned around and did something completely different a few hours later.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, when the question was asked, why he didn't open his mouth, I laughed to myself and say, because the Chai comes in and give the order yet.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, cool.
Hey, you all have a good day, okay?
Okay, then.
Yeah, man.
You have one on the line?
Hello,
Caller, good
good day.
morning. You lost someone. Next one here. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. X, Obi and company.
Hey, what happened?
Mr. X,
How things?
I want to engage in a couple things, okay?
All right, okay.
I
engage
didn't know
me.
that you were so familiar with the industry in relation to the oil industry and all of that.
You did
But
not
the
know that?
question has been nagging me in my head all of the time. When these people get a contract, and I'm saying contract with like $50 million or so, to do services and things for the company, there is supposed to be a check to ensure that they meet all of the parameters before they enter the place of work, not so? And
Yes.
that's supposed to be correct?
Yes.
Right. Now, among that, my understanding is that there must be a designated rescue diver in case anything takes place.
Right.
Am I correct with that?
Yes, it is.
Now, if there was a designated rescue diver and the men was in the pipe working, how come the rescue diver was one of those who was sucked into the pipe too?
The rescue diver was one of the divers that got sucked into the pipe.
Well, that is what is being said.
Well, he not supposed to be there.
Good. So he's supposed to go into the pipe after the incident.
What
correct?
I said from the beginning that the second level risk assessment would have taken all those pieces into consideration while they're front end loading for this job, and in the absence of that, we had this tragedy. So which tells me we don't have the expertise, or the expertise lapsed, or something along those
I
lines.
don't want to come away from the point they're trying to make,
Well, go ahead. You make your point.
There's a point that is being claimed that everybody was sucked into the pipe.
Right.
And I'm trying to understand, if you were supposed to be a rescue diver away from incidents, Only after Delta P occurs, then you could go to rescue. Would I be correct in that assessment?
Yes.
Right. Now, if you were going to rescue,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I find strange, and I might be wrong in this, but you know about the industry, you will tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a rescue driver dive into that pipe without a tether? Without having either a rope or a strong cable onto him to get inside of there?
Why?
You could explain that to me?
Well, I'm saying I don't know all the documents. I
Right.
saw 2 documents. One was the preparation, the safety preparation, which would have all of that in it, and another document I saw, boy, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I saw some relevant documents, but those things didn't have much.
So we
much
could
to it.
conclude then that the rescue driver was not part of the operation. He came in after.
Right, okay.
We could conclude that, right?
Well,
Now, the next thing I want to ask you is this. I hear they're talking about this knocking on the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
During the commission of inquiry, when the question of knocking on the pipe was raised, they made it clear that we got the information that there was knocking on the pipe. And we sent a team to find out. They went all over the pipe, and they could find no knocking on the pipe. And at the commission of inquiry, this question of people were knocking the pipe and they want to come out, that was never part of what was put forward to the commission.
Well,
you know that?
Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but I don't know about the party to. I don't know about the party to go down.
Something sweet for people to blame somebody.
To blame somebody?
Now, Piper said something during the commission of inquiry that really and truly shook me up. He said to me, whose brother, whose father, whose uncle, whose son did you want me to send into an unknown situation inside of there? And it shook me up. So
you front loaded, but that's why I'm saying, if you have a competent HSC advisor or an engineer on the project, these things would be considered, so that you would know the contents of the pipe, you would know how full it is, you would know all these things before, and then the person who came out of the pipe said that they're right behind me, which means they're right in the pipe somewhere down there, right? So in order to perform a rescue, you have several different things.
And I said that if he had gone in there with a tether, it may have been better.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Right. Now, just one other thing. I just want to close up like this portion by saying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a company like Paria decide to hire a contracting company to do extensive work, serious work like this, they have a responsibility to ensure that they're competent and competently equipped to do the job. You agree with that?
All right, cool, yeah.
Right, and you can't do things because it's partner or favor, right? And when you do that, you compromise everything. So they want to blame everybody for the accident, but the people who hired the company, the people who were there to check to make sure all the safety checks were in place, and whatever initially took place.
Right.
Right? That ain't gonna help them. Last thing I want to deal with you, Mr. X. Yesterday you were talking about 3 young men in a car with AK-47. Now let me tell you something.
AR-15s.
During the last administration,
AR-15s by chance.
I begged the UNC. I begged them, please work with the PNM. Dr. Derisaran begged them, work with the PNM. Let us fix this thing. Those guns, they can't come into the country just so. They're customs officers who go to a hardware and they're selling the
Well, Eric, we got to call you back. We got to call you back.
We got to go for the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
right, people, we're back inside, and this is off the record, of course, Mr. X and Stephan. And this week, we have Obi with us, and he's doing a fine job otherwise.
At all. It's chaos here on Stephan and X is two madmen, and it's chaos they have me dealing with here.
That's wrong with that. And noticing in the papers, though,
Yeah.
I have not seen a picture of Star. Why is that?
because you ever see any big shot name, and the only reason she named it is because they actually have a name. Normally it does be wealthy businessman,
I don't
prominent businesswoman, businessman
Yes,
son.
but I
It's
seen-
only the man on the poor name that's
I
be the
seen
ex.
Dominic Hadid and Genevieve Hadid paper on every papers ever since this debacle started. But I have not seen Star at all. Why is that? They don't have a picture of Star? Well, she don't have no picture on her page. So I don't know if it's that is why she don't have a picture. But anyhow, it just what is what it is. But Eric, you can feel free to call back if you wish.
Feel free to call back.
Feel free to call back if you wish, because you were engaging me in some nice discussion. Some nice sensible discussion.
And we have 2 voice notes here by the time we read
well,
it.
go ahead.
So we have a few voice notes.
Go
So
ahead.
let's give the people the choice.
Yeah, morning, guys. So, I would like to be a advocate for Mr. Nobody, to have a segment during this 9 to 12 program that you all have. And
I'm already
I
trying
believe
to
that we
put
could call it like Nobody Knows. So everybody could call in and liaise with him for 30 minutes and test his knowledge.
Yeah,
What
well,
do you all think about that?
I am. You're too late. I am trying. I am an advocate for that also too at some point in time, because I think the way he has put things, it is kind of open up the public's minds
A bit
as to
more,
what's
yeah.
going on. You know, because the things he's be talking, we don't. Some of us don't understand. We talking about executive and legislative and judiciary and
We have
and
somebody with a
they-
7-minute voice note, and I don't know when they expect to play that a young lady.
Well, they get sharp in now.
So one thing I forget, X, in regards to El Salvador, it's always a beginning. El Salvador was just like Trinidad and Tobago with a 2-party system.
Right.
When the mayor, Bukele, I think he was mayor at the time,
Right.
realized what was going on in his country, he wanted to make a difference. He decided to join one of the parties and realized, yeah, this is not working out for him. And he created his new party, new idea, right? He got the people to buy in because they themselves were fed up of the 2-party system where the country were where the country were, right? I'm telling you, people, you're going to cable man going on the other street to just put in cable and they kill them. Like, what are you doing here, right? It was the murder capital in the hemisphere.
Right.
And he came in with, and his party was a new idea. And he get the people to buy him because people were fed up. And they wanted better for themselves. And they believed, right? And he had a plan. They had SOE and day in, day out, right? After the first term, they realized, and his inauguration, he said they have to swallow the hard pill, and he explained all that, right? I don't know if you know, or listen down and listen to his inauguration speech the first time he won. And the millions of people who came out, in the millions, listened to him and agreed and put their faith in him, and they themselves also do the work. Now, with anything you do, you'll always have people against it, right? But his people, majority, and he's still favorable, over 90%, believed after his first term, he gets second term. His people don't even want him to not be the president. They want him to get third term, fourth term, fifth term, so forth. First, they believe. Have you seen the change in in El Salvador?
Yep,
Why are people
yep.
talking about what other people did? When in his first term, when they were all around the world were talking, the UN, whoever was talking and say the rights of the human rights for the criminals and things, and he said, what? The most important right is the right of my law-abiding citizens. All they're fighting here. And he stood up against the UN and all these different, the US and who didn't want to send him money. And he said, okay, no problem. And look what he's doing. Look at his country. I have friends who recently visit on vacation and enjoy themselves. I was shocked. People weren't going to El Salvador for vacation. Right? So he's doing something good, whether people like it or not. I know recently, I think it was at the UN, and his people stood up with him. You see, in order for any change to happen in Trinidad, the people have to want it. Right? And Trinidadian mindsets have to change. You can bring in a new party in there. Not the PNM or UNC. A new party could come and they could win, and within a day, them going and curse out a new party. They ain't doing nothing. We want the PNM, we want UNC. The mindset of Trinbagonians, because at the end of the day, in order to rebuild Trinidad and Tobago and to get Trinidad where it needs to be, all hands need to be on deck. The people need to want better. You know, the people need to know that they deserve better. Trinidadians, and I say this, I think it was designed for years, because when I listen to people speak and how they think, right, we are creating the mindset of the people for a long time now. And y'all got to change.
And
Y'all
that is
should be better
always
look
say
at these
broken
countries
by
how they're
design.
doing well.
Yep.
Right? But I hope the best for Trinidad and Tobago and and the people. I will always love my country and always hope for the best. We just sit down. We have this 7-day, 9-day wonder. We have that mentality of bacchanal and drama. We have the blame game. We have the selective morality. We have the selective outrage. We have the, we can't be sheep. We are smarter people than that. And we are so blessed as a cosmopolitan country to be infused in different cultures. And our mindset is supposed to be broader and bigger and we're supposed to be wiser than that, that no political party should come in and have to puppet you or treat you like sheep. So throw a little corn here and make you think that is what all they deserve, and they're like little, hungry belly chickens to go and just feed on the little 2 crumbs they give you. No, you deserve better than that. I'm seeing people crying out about CPEP and European. I was like, CPEP was created to teach you to love your community, beautify your community, and there's no CPEP and you calling for the government. No, you should be cleaning up your community. You should have developed yourself that much that you're cleaning up your community. No government should have to tell you to clean your house or clean your community. You understand? You as a citizen have responsibilities as well. So at the end of the day, you're looking at the government and what they should do, but look at within yourself. While you're pointing one finger at the government, look at how many fingers pointing at you. What have you done in your community to change, to affect change? Clean up your community, you live there. I can tell you, it had one time here, they were putting on they were taking off the garbage disposal from your mortgage, and because it was infused in there to make it private and you had to pay. And people were just packing up their stuff and taking the things to the dump, the trash to the dump. Until one of the people in the community buy some dump trucks and they had their own charging like $20 a month or something like that from all the members, whoever wanted to join. They would come and pick up the trash and so forth. Like y'all had to get out of that mindset. Anyway, have a good day.
All right. Thanks a lot.
One thing
for
I
your
forgot to mention
contribution.
is that remember when Bukele came in, the first thing he did, he said, I have to clean the steps from the top go down. And he brought everybody into with his attorney general, and he said they need to be investigated, all the politicians, and so he investigated them, right? And he realized who was funding and da. Let me tell you something, you have to have a strength like Bukele or the guy from Singapore, Mr. Lee, to really hit corruption at its core,
Yeah.
Because when you hit corruption at core, you will actually see the ones who is helping the people who is corrupt and causing corruption and funding corruption. They will come out to defend them. So, whereas in anything, like I said, you do, they will always have for and against. Some people before, some people be against. The thing is, what it is your want for Trinidad and Tobago, right? The government cannot do it alone. The people have to buy in. The people have to be part of the change. And I don't know. When you listen, I still think it's a very small percentage of people making the noise and being funded to make noise. I think it's a lot of more intelligent people in Trinidad and Tobago who know what is needed, what is expected, and their responsibility as citizens. A country does not only be successful by.
Caller, good morning.
Hello, good day.
Good morning, X.
Good morning to you.
Ubi.
Morning.
And to all your listeners.
Yes.
This morning I want to talk about 2 straits.
All right.
The Homo Strait, and the Homo Strait is really to interfere with the oil production. It is a strait, it is a route that's controlling oil out of the Middle East. But there is another strait.
I just moving it across.
And that is why KCR has jumped out. He doesn't want the SOE. Why
we took it off.
is that so? From my vantage, there was a boutique track.
No, we haven't done it yet.
Illicit drugs
Yeah.
There was a what?
through the Columbus Channel, and I'm calling that the PNM Street.
Right.
And I'm saying no more. Accord.
All right. Okay. I got you. All right.
Caller.
Morning, alive.
Mr. X, I'm back.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah. What he was saying.
Mr. X, I'll tell you something. It was harrowing when you described 3 young men in the back of a white Tida, whatever it is,
that's what
and
he's
all of
talking
them
about.
have
A white
their
Lancer.
AK or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're going to satisfy somebody's desire to take out somebody for whatever reason it is. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself, Mr. X, how long are we going to be preaching the same thing? For the last 10 years when the PNM was in office, I was begging the UNC, Dr. Derrison was begging them, come together, let us deal with this thing. You have customs men in this country who, I kind of afraid to say, show me a customs officer and I'll show you a rich man. How all these guns is coming to the country? You go into the hardware, you sit down in the office with the girls, they bring a shoebox of Blue Note for you, whatever it is, and you clear and you're going.
Right.
That is why we have all this kind of thing taking place. TTRA would have been dealing with customs in a serious way, right? You have a situation of men on the sea, on boats, who you have to wonder about. right now for the last 22 months now, I've been checking it. An able-bodied seaman was part of a team of Coast Guard officers who encountered a submersible submarine from Colombia that was carrying 6 metric tons of cocaine on it. All we know is that he was on the boat. They say somebody accidentally pulled a plug, and he's at the bottom of the sea right now. Right now. So we always have these seamen, they see just disappearing when they go to do these things, and we want to know what's going on in this country. This country has to fix its national security system, and it could only be fixed in the parliament. The ball is in your court now, Mr. X, because if your party in power, tell them to fix it. Any questions?
So hold on. Eric, I could ask you a question. Why didn't the PNM make any attempt to retrieve that Coast Guard? Because believe it or not, that was actually a friend of mine, and I've been advocating for that since he went missing on my platform for months now. Why aren't they making any attempt to retrieve his body to give his family closure?
Could I talk now?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Whenever a Minister of National Security is appointed in this country, he receives a call or he has a call with Southcom. Southcom is the United States of America naval base that treats with all the Southern Caribbean and everything. We are friends. We are comrades in the Navy, in doing work on the sea and all of that. Southcom could have assisted in bringing that submersible up because they are claiming that they are unable to do it. And that man's family has not had closure. And I want to know what really happened to him. Is it true what they say, or is it that something kind of conspiracy took place on the sea? People want to know.
Yes, but Eric, Eric, we had a government there, and they did nothing to get him up.
You're correct about that, but I am saying that when Donald Trump came here and he started to blow boats out of the sea, I asked them to ask Southcom to assist them in getting that submersible up.
Okay then.
Because we want to know.
Okay then.
People need to know. Okay?
Okay, Eric, thanks.
Have a nice morning, guys.
You too.
Yeah, asking the wrong people.
Good morning, Barack Paul.
Morning.
Good morning, gentle.
Morning. What's happened?
Morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
Call me anything, but don't call me PNM.
Don't call me collect.
And don't call you collect neither.
And call me collect, even call me collect. Anything, just don't call me PNM.
Just don't call me PNM.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Because one of the commonality of the PNM is their failure is always somebody else cause it. So the same problem that he's calling and talking about, what he has asked the UNC to fix to help the PNM, and they didn't do it for 10 years. This same government now is not asking the PNM to help them, and they are fixing it.
Right.
They are in Parliament now passing the legislation with the Attorney General and his team to fix it. But they're having a big problem with that because the UNC is doing it without the help of the PNM. And that's the difference. Excuse a man in safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that no matter what operation takes place, you cannot eliminate all the hazards.
No,
you could bring it down to the lowest possibility.
Well, that is a lap is as low as reasonably possible. That's a term that they use in.
And then you put mitigating factors, and then you have, like in case of an operation where you have some element of explosion or something, you have a response team, a backup response team, right?
Right.
And then, no matter how competent the operation goes, there's always some element that could cause something to go wrong, a disaster then.
Well, yeah.
So we passed that stage now. The disaster happened. What happens after? And the response team now comes into operation where it comes a rescue or a retrieval operation. And that's how the process works. So when the situation with the divers occurred, the same gentleman talking about incompetence and all this kind of thing. What's supposed to kick in there now? And is a rescue or a retrieval?
Yeah,
Who was the person was blocking the rescue and the retrieval. And they are studying that.
That's the problem. That is the,
Right?
the golden question there.
Right. And the man, there was a minister at the charge of energy at that time, was having a meeting with Colin Piper in a room.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you know Mushtaq Mohammed also.
Mushtaq was my boss at one time.
Right. But you know Mushtaq have all the qualification. But if you tell him
Yes.
to close a valve, he don't know which left or right to turn it.
Nah,
One of
don't,
those-
don't say that. He's quite competent.
I
in that
work with
regard.
him also, and you know they're bright like a bulb,
Yeah.
and they could tell you all the theories and how to operate things.
Yeah.
But when you're out on the deck and we have situation, it's the men them where work with Cameron and things, the ones who jump out and would get under control.
Yeah.
We know that. We out there a long time.
Right.
And when you see that situation occurred, and the gentleman them was having thing, and it had so many people came forward to lend assistance, and then they instruct Coast Guard to stop and don't allow anybody help. The same guy who came out the pipe was willing to go back in. There were other competent people who wanted to go in, and they
were
did
stopped.
not
They were
allow that.
stopped. Yeah.
You understand? And then when you compare this situation to disasters around the world and thing, and you see where mine cave in and let's take the World Trade Center, that they send in firefighters to rescue people and they end up dying also. But that is how the operation goes. You understand? Even a rescue could have a disaster taking place. In this case, they didn't have nothing because a man decide here what? Don't allow anybody to make any rescue attempt. Don't allow anybody to come close to the situation. Although we had one of the main reason why we could have sent in a rescue team, because somebody was in there and came out.
Yeah. Well.
You understand? If it was an unknown element where then nobody didn't survive or somebody then went into the pipe and come out, well, then you could say, well, it's unforeseen. You don't know what exists down there.
Yeah.
But we had that element to work with, and they refuse that also. You understand? So when they come and talking all, so when they come and talking all this nonsense about the contractor was incompetent and this one and thing, let me tell you something again. Blame everybody else, but where the problem really is. You understand?
Definitely. Thanks
So
a lot.
have a good morning, gentlemen. I'll take
Yeah,
care.
man, thanks a lot. Yeah, well, nobody want to take no blame.
Yeah. Call her
Hello,
good
day.
morning.
Well, finally. Good morning, Ruby. Good morning, Esther.
Morning.
No longer dress again.
Well, you're inside now, so make a contribution.
A little cut off for a little matter. So let me gate out, please.
Go ahead.
Just do. You have 4 minutes.
All right. Trinidad and Tobago has a culture of corruption. And I have honestly come to the belief that this is by design. We have short-term memory, right? An issue is highlighted, nothing is done, people's duties and responsibilities are ignored, there is no follow-up, there's nothing being done. We live in a country, we talk about El Salvador and all these other countries, but we have a Scott report, a Sabga report, a Judith Jones report. How much years these things come out? Nothing done. And then we say the government don't have the power to prosecute or persecute anybody. That means there's a separation of powers. These institutions have to do what it is supposed to do.
When this came out,
But
right?
when it reached on the desk, that's not my gate out because once you break my thought process, I go in circles. Right? The government send the paperwork where it had to go. So when it reached on that desk, what will it do? Because I can't understand how we could pay how much money from man days and get this cut report to find out what is going on in our protected services, all our national security institutions, and the level of infiltration. You pass that on somebody that's to investigate, and it just sits there. So I want to know what HR department does do. Because I know they're supposed to sit down and watch people's duties and responsibilities and ensure that they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do or they be removed. That has happened in private and enterprises. So apparently that structure do work when it comes to government institutions. we know with different administrations and all these other things, the level of infiltration. So it answers the question why nothing is ever done in this country. Akil Chambers is dead. We had DNA evidence collected from 3 people, and then it was destroyed in a real country. How could that happen? And now we're hearing reports about a man wide on social media talking about a little boy that was assaulted in somebody's office, and nothing. A man gone. Nothing. All of we know about it. All of us talking about it on the radio, on the TV, on all these things. What? Do we really care about children in this country? Do we really want anything fixed? Because we just keep talk. Senator where it's supposed to go. The people who are supposed to be doing the jobs not acting, and they sitting down there, and then they get retired, paying them big money. What we doing?
Okay then.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you painted a grim picture there, and it's very, very unfortunate that it ended up like that. But it's a cause for concern because we have people getting paid and nothing being done.
You want me to tell you why it goes like that?
Right.
Because every time the wealthy ends up at the door of crime, all you just hear is that song from back in the days. My friend, money ain't no problem. And once money pass, everybody turns a blind eye.
It have 179 commission of inquiries sitting down in the National Archives.
See what I mean?
179.
Good morning,
I'd
caller.
like to chat about Mr. Piper's situation. Well, the reason why that situation happened is because the pressure of the sea had to equalize with the pressure that is inside of the pipe.
And that happened already.
Right, so if they had pulled a plug, right, if they pulled a plug, the sea water will rush in.
Right.
Even if somebody was tethered, they would have still get injured.
Yeah, but they're supposed to have that's supposed to be a seamless process between connecting the flange, removing the plug, and preparing the flange to be connected.
Yeah, but I will tell you something too, right? I think I sound funny, but I'll talk on it. There are people who within the organization are not qualified to do that type of stuff.
To do what type of stuff?
To be a part of the team.
Well,
I
wouldn't say
but to organize things. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't say that.
telling you.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that there were lapses in judgment by different members of the team
I will tell you something
that
again.
caused this incident. It's not a one-person
right.
issue.
So listen to what I have to say. If you know Mr. Piper.
Yes, I know him well. He used to work at school.
Mr. Piper's attitude towards people.
Well,
if it is 100 people know Mr. Piper, 99.9 I like him because of his attitude towards people.
Well,
he doesn't listen to people.
Well,
he has his own way of thinking and he doesn't care. I'm telling you that.
Well, I worked with him in ASCO and when he was working at ASCO back in the day. And I worked with him, so I know what you're talking about. But that is not you cannot be an incident commander with an attitude like that.
Mr. Piper doesn't have a good attitude towards people. He feels that he knows everything and he doesn't. Mr. Piper only got that position because one person was too old to be there and the next one was fired because of an oil spill. Mr. Piper just gravitated to that position.
Yeah, but you don't gravitate to that position. That's the problem. You earn that position via caps that you have earned over the years to sit in that
and
seat.
Mr. Piper didn't earn that position. I'm telling you, if you know this man,
Yes, but it doesn't work so like that in the oil industry.
It worked like that for Mr. Piper to be in that position because a lot of people in Michigan work there because the family had a good job in petrochemical. And they came out of UE knowing nothing, and they just promoted them to positions that people, where people used to be working there before, couldn't get. I'm telling you.
Okay.
A lot of people.
Okay then, caller.
Okay,
Thanks.
cool. Well, I wouldn't subscribe to that because let's put it this way, right? oil and gas. To get a job in oil and gas is not as easy as it
As you
looks,
think.
right?
Yeah.
It's not just go and pick up somebody.
Because I
and
can tell
put
you
them
on
in a
my entry
position.
level, I was nowhere near,
There's no
near
way
certain things I was
you
allowed
can
to
work
work
in the
on.
oil industry if you're not qualified, and most of all, not competent.
Yeah.
Because you have a competent, it's a demonstrable skill, right? That you have to prove your worth.
Yeah.
In order to get promoted, in order for you to move up in the organization, in order
Guy,
for
I
you
know
to
it had job
succeed.
sites and thing we went on where
Very rare.
we weren't allowed to go near
Very
certain
rare.
things because we
You-
didn't have the skill set for it.
Very rare you would find people not competent in the industry. Very,
Mm.
very rare. Right? And that family working here, and it doesn't work like that. In a proper oil industry environment, it is not like that at all. You have to be competent in what you're doing. So, an ICT commander is one that is not chosen lightly. It is one that, if the ICT commander gets it wrong, you will have incidents like
Yes,
the pipeline.
people lose lives.
Right?
Yeah.
You will have incidents like that because you're not competent at your job. Right? And competence is something that they regularly test you on. Right? Because when I work in, I can't. If I go on a project, okay, my last stint was around the Savannah in BP's building, right? And every day, every hour of the day is a meeting. Every hour of the day. You schedule different conference rooms and you go to I just drop in conference rooms the whole day. And there's consulting on projects where it's called front-end loading, right? You get all your data correct, you go through the data, you make your recommendations, whatever, right? So it's not and when it's time to show at the ending of the year, you must show your achievement. So you can't say I did 10 JSAs and it was supposed to be 15 and all kind of math, and just tell them that. You have to show them that.
Okay. Pleasant good morning. What's up, caller?
Hello, good day.
Good morning.
Mr. X and Obi.
Yes.
Mr. X,
Yes.
I understand what you are saying. But won't you agree that Paria and Heritage, after the closing down of Petrochin, won't you agree that that was not real? It was a kind of P&M thing? That, you know? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know. Well,
yeah, because
it could have been. I can't speak for it because I don't know enough to know.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
tell you anything.
No, but that is the perception. That is the perception.
Well, that is the perception. But Piper would have gone through the ambit of several. Yeah, go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, but if you have all the caps and whatever and gold medals and whatever, and your attitude towards people, like what the guy was saying.
Well, your attitude is also assessed. It is also assessed.
Yeah,
but your psychological fitness must be tested also too. Because you can't be in a. Okay, when you're an ICT commander, it's a different skill altogether. Right? They put you in a. Okay, I did 2 years and one in Scotland and one in Norway and Scotland or Norway. Anyhow, one in Scotland and RGIT Montrose, right? And the kind of rigors that is put you through, put you in a room, and you in the room sign up, and you have your scribe, you have your different people and the different logistics coordinator, this, wherever, and you had to know everybody, and you had to know what they could do, right? In terms of who you're calling externally, who you're partnering with externally, who you're partnering with internally. You had to be able to, you had to be real skilled. And you have to be able to control your emotional quotient. You can't be no wild man and be ICT commander. Right? You have to have a certain level of level-headedness to be an incident commander.
To be able to think
be able
when
to think under
chaos is
pressure.
taking place around you.
And they would tell you scenarios, like the instructor would tell you scenarios like...
Yeah, well, I remember the scenario training that we had to go through. And that was like, listen, they just build this thing so realistic.
real. And whistles and
Yeah.
and bells going off in your head. While you doing all of that,
Yeah.
them is the kind of scenarios around you. And the thing getting worse. And you had to come up with quite quick.
Well, I know you was explaining like what would happen like if you had a hurricane or a storm hitting a rig.
Yeah, or a boat losing its rudder and coming towards a platform. How you deal with things like that. All those kind of and it's live scenarios you're talking about. You're seeing ships in front of you coming, and you have to make decisions as it happens. And they have ways called what if scenarios that you have to go through. What if this, so on, and a checklist of all the different things. You have to know how to navigate in scenarios such as those. So, while I agree with you that Piper would have had certain levels of training, and he was in industry long because he's been in the industry for a number of years, and he was a real stickler for the rules.
Okay.
But I ain't business with that. All of them should have been jail.
All right. Well, people, we going for a break, and we will be back shortly to continue taking your calls.
Protect yourself from electric
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Ticket Front with Officer Shabadi. Go Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st.
All right, people, we're back inside, and this is Off the Record at 91.1, and we are talking the things, right? I see something here by the Bureau of Standards, ISO 14001, and that piqued my curiosity because it's an international standard that deals with the environment, and I was responsible. I was on the team in BP back in the day that implemented that for the whole organization. It's a 3-year certification that you get, but it's a lot of work, a lot of work, and you have to figure out where you're tackling, and one of them is garbage collection. Sorting of garbage and so on. Well, there are different areas that your aspects you put out, and you pull out about 4 of them, and you work on 4 of them.
Okay.
So that's very interesting to see that they talk about ISO 14,001 is out. All right.
Well, okay.
Well interesting.
Well, I want to go to the cricket trivia. So people remember the access phrase is cricket trivia at Talk City. So we are taking calls. You will get an opportunity to win 2 tickets for the cricket to see wickets. So we're taking calls for the cricket. If you want those tickets, call in now and get an opportunity to win those tickets. And we have somebody calling on the WhatsApp.
All right.
WhatsApp caller, good morning.
Yeah.
Access phrase, please.
Let's see. Cricket fever 91.9, 91.9, 91.1.
What's up, brother? Don't get we station wrong, you know. I know feeling like you know take it again. You don't get it. Listen, just the mere fact that you call your wrong station mean you're listening other places. Make sure you're only listening to Talk City, eh?
Nah.
Right, do be on that.
So X and Stephan and us normally listen to and us normally listen to you on the evening.
Okay then, cool. Okay, so let me find something here for you then. Let me find something for you because you're a loyal listener. Yeah. Which famous cricket venue is located in Port of Spain?
Oval.
Nice. You're inside. So here what I want you to do. Send me your name, WhatsApp me your name, email address, and your contact number to the WhatsApp that you're calling here now, please.
I ain't take it.
All right. No problem, thanks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then, caller. Thanks.
You could take
man.
It is impossible for me to take it there, X. It's a WhatsApp call. So yeah, people, you all could continue calling in and the conversation continues. Should Captain Forlong be charged for those men dying in a pipe because we see that Guyana has made a perfect example.
With the MV Barima.
Yes.
The captain.
Watch out, see the captain crying and he bawling going in.
Yeah, boy. You can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Caller, good morning. What's up, caller?
Hello, good day. Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Go ahead. Hello?
Cricket fever, Talk City 91.
Oh, now somebody done win the tickets, bro.
Oh, God.
Yeah, boy. Somebody was quicker than you on the draw.
All right.
Yeah, boy. All right, cool.
Okay, caller, yeah. Caller, good morning.
Sorry about that, gentlemen. Morning.
No problem. And the caller from before win the tickets are waiting for you to send me information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah,
that incident with the pipe, the divers in the pipe there.
Yeah.
Somebody should be charged.
Well, they can't charge anybody. They can't charge anybody now, unfortunately.
They can't charge anybody now?
After 6 months, no.
Oh, Lord, Father. So these people get away scot-free, but...
Yeah, I want to tell you, Captain Forlong, he just something wrong with G2, yes? Something wrong with G2. I don't know how he just sleep in United.
They're supposed to charge these people and them for negligence.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Lord, Father.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry to hear that, but I was glad if somebody had been charged.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
Well, they went to check that legislation, but I don't know what become of it. We didn't hear nothing on that after that. But we had to get $1 million. They got $1 million.
This legislation, it had too much of flaws in it.
Well, the people them got $1 million at least from this government, so that's good.
Yeah, it's good. But you see, we have to guard against what will happen in the future. That these things are happen. Even though it happens, somebody should be held accountable and be penalized accordingly with the law.
Well, this just went through the mud and tried to make it look like we're doing something, and we weren't doing anything, basically. That's the problem.
They should be doing something. You know, it's not nice.
All right, cool.
Okay, then.
No problem. Yeah, man. Obi. Yeah, who else?
Nobody else.
What am I saying? Wala ba kanal going on there? What is going on with the phone? What is going on with the phone? All they can be doing that day. All they can be doing that day. All they can be doing that day.
You talk, right? Look at call on the line now.
Hello, good day.
Yeah, Mr. X, morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, no, Obi there next year.
Eva?
Obi around?
In the middle of the night, you bring
you right.
sunshine.
What's going on
This lady, she have a pot on the fire.
playing there? Hello, good day.
Yeah. I want to Obi he going good, man. And he learn from the best. He learning from the best. You, Mr. X.
Well, I'm hoping that he is.
Yeah, you come from a man. You know from a man who's a sharp me sword. Roll head in the gladiator.
Well, that is back in the day, boy.
Never forget he.
Yeah, never forget, boy.
But I hear talk about something just now there with jobs and skill set and thing, right?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to advise any parent and any young person listen to this program. Get all yourself into welding. Welding is a big field. It has stainless steel, aluminum, plasma, underwater welding.
TIG welding.
Big money then.
TIG welding, aluminum welding, all these different things.
For big money you're working for and things like that. And then now, Petrochin now, the oil refining more let's go open at the steel mill.
I never meet, when I used to work offshore, right, I used to have some welders in Guayagayari village, right? Some very good welders. And some of them were exceptional welders. Still, they were pulled into different projects because they were that good. They were individually good so that they could say, well, go and check Jim in the village, wherever, and bring him on this project kind of thing. They were sort of, and I find we don't have welding. I don't find we have welding as
number one skill then.
What? I don't find we Russian welding as how them welders was long time. It's not like that anymore. One of the youths and them just do welding, but they qualified and competent. That's why I was trying to figure out,
Well, MIC and Hype does give them qualifications, right?
You gotta get certified. You have a code. When you have a code now,
yeah, but they're not understanding how to get how to be specialized in welding. Yeah, I don't get the impression that we really building welding as a tool, basically. We just doing it because
the government had to create some avenue let people know how it's important, because in all them buildings you have all over the place, it's structural steel and it's welding. It are companies that have welders working there every day, for Popeye Bus or whatever. Then you have a welder then in the company.
I used to be admiring the welders and them that doing underwater welding and that sort of stuff. I learn about heating up our rods. All these different are working in habitats.
Those structural steel, Mr. X.
They
have structural steel work, right?
Yeah.
The steel building and them, right? You're learning from a washer, a bolt, go right up to cover in the building, put down the decking, plumbing the building, and even drafting, It's a big industry, So I will advise any parent listening to this program, and your son not good in academics, try to get him into that welding industry, and we go side, because I did that from 5 Rivers. Leave a test piece day. Go to comprehensive.
Yeah, but like we just get caught up in our job. Okay, like somebody welders I know, they're real good but they get a work in, let's say, Kmart mufflers or wherever, and that's welding muffler and that's it. You know that kind of way.
Yeah.
They're not taking it to the next level at all for some reason or the other. I don't know why. You want to hear somebody come out with some qualification in welding that nobody else in have.
Yeah.
You know that kind of way. You doesn't hear that yearning for that kind of welder. I don't
Not
know
only
why,
that, I think most youths just doesn't know how to access it too.
I wonder if it's
much about that. Plenty fellas working foreign.
Yeah, doing welding. So long as you have that skill.
Big scale.
Yeah. It's a long
Well,
shot.
we are ready to wrap up.
All right, cool.
York structures did the airport, right?
All right, cool.
And I work with them that we do all them so that same clearance. If I let you go in that kind of way, get them into that trade, get them into welding. It's a wide field, and I look at learn from that, and I live into them.
Okay, then. Thanks, Paula.
Yeah, man. Well, that brings us to the end of the program today. It was indeed a pleasure being with you all today and bringing you all the information. Tomorrow it's another day. We'll see how that goes. Even though some minds have a genius of expressing the obvious. So stop walking around the town with your blinkers on as you just run into a post. Have a good day, TNT, and mind your business.
Yeah. Remember, people, the motto simple. You cannot become a first world nation with a third world mentality.